And record.
Oh my God.
Good evening, gents, and welcome to Metal Planet Music. Thanks for taking the time to chat with us. We have 3/4 of Deadwax. Please introduce yourselves.
Good evening. How are you all doing?
Good evening, everybody. Yeah, I'm Sol. I'm the bass player in Deadwax.
I'm Jake. I'm the front man.
Oh, I'm Ben. I'm the man on drums.
And we obviously Henry, the guitarist, is MIA.
Yes. DJ Insignificance.
But thanks for taking the time to chat with us. Where's your PR sent over the latest single, which is going to drop end of the month, Northern Behaviour? And I just went, holy fuck, that is just so dangerous, genuinely different. Where's it coming from? Obviously, you're proud of your roots.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah. The single is essentially a sort of story that was just sort of from the time me and Sol spent working on a building site for 2 years back when we were sort of, 17, 18. And it just a sort of, essentially it's a bit of a celebration of it, really. I mean, it was, the sound has been something we've developed for about 10 years now. We've been playing together for a long, long time. And we started off as a blues band and we've developed massively. And I think we just are really enjoying crossing any kind of boundaries that we can find at the moment.
You certainly do blur those genres, and this is kind of what's coming out of Bristol. There's a scene where boundaries are just being blown apart, and you guys seem to be tapping into that. I mean, I described it to Wes as that's Massive Attack meets Skindred. I just couldn't define it.
Yeah, no, I think we quite enjoy people trying to compare it to something else, you know.
That's the first though. We've never heard.
No, we haven't had that combo before. I like that. Yeah, it's sort of. I mean, we never really tried to fit into a certain genre. We also didn't really try not to. It just we have a wide variety of music that we're all into, and I think that's what comes out.
Why be the next something or other? Be the first Deadwax, yeah?
Yeah,
That's
exactly,
the kind of vibe I'm getting. I watched the video. There's, you got the seriousness, the urbanness of it, but there's a sense of humour there as well with the pot noodles. I just love that. I thought these guys, and you referenced it's grim up north. Now, is that deliberate? Was that a deliberate reference to the ancient, justified ancients of Moo?
I wouldn't say it was a deliberate reference to that. I know it from it was an arts collaboration. I know that Stussy was involved with in Manchester. I'm sure they probably referenced whatever you're talking about there.
Yeah.
It was just it's just a common phrase that you hear around. That's all it's come from, really. Unfortunately,
I'm not down West Country. KLF, that was what the Justified Ancients were. They were just two names for the same band. And when they released that, it's just like, wow, what is this land up north?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, and right at the beginning of that video, there's something I found quite telling. It's the two road signs, road ahead closed, and the diversion. Was that deliberate? To say, look, we're going off in this direction?
Well, you could say that, I guess.
I'm pleased you read it that way. It was more of just, those two colours look quite jarring and different to what's behind it. It just sort of we went to the aesthetic, but no, it's a better way of looking.
There's
at
a lot.
it,
There's a lot of roadworks in Leeds as well. So there's a lot which kind of helps with the theme as well. That's, a lot of stuff that me and Jake used to do that he was referring to before.
Yeah,
lots of grim. Daily work in the rain, digging holes, making trenches.
Yeah. But those roads, it has sort of some sort of subconscious message, perhaps.
I like that. I like that train of thought. Honestly, they were just what was at the end of the road.
Pure coincidence, but heck, use it, man. Use it. Get Wes onto it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about music. You touched on your beginnings there as blues, rock. You spoke to me mate Dave Ciderbaby and said, your earliest stuff influences were like Led Zeppelin. Tell us a little bit about that and how you came to cross over with this direction.
It's got to be parental influence probably to kick it off with.
Definitely.
Most of our parents are all playing in various bands and have just introduced so much music to us growing up. Led Zeppelin was probably the first, well, maybe not the first, but something that we all could connect with pretty on an even level.
Yeah, it was the easy thing to just like, okay, we all know the songs, so let's play them, and then we kept doing that for about 2 years or something, just like because we were all just massively into that band for a long time. Yeah, and then we realized, you know, we can actually write our own songs here. So
there was just a sort of turning point of, I think when we were younger, being into Led Zeppelin was very much old. It was very like, you know, we weren't listening to the UK top 40 of 2016, whatever it was. Yeah. We were really kind of, and yeah, that is definitely from parental influence. And I think when we all sort of got a little bit older towards like going to college and stuff, we definitely all sort of split off in our own sort of directions with music. Like I'm really into, I still am, I was really into like dance music, and then I got more into metal. And we, like Skinner, who's not here at the moment, he's studying jazz at the moment.
That's phenomenal.
So, yeah, there's pools of influence from literally every corner of the world, really.
And hence this total maelstrom of sound that comes out of the four of you. It's genuinely really exciting, and there's a number of bands some of us older guys are now catching up with, and I include you amongst that. You know, it's taking what we knew and just chucking it off in totally different tangents.
I mean, it's all stemmed from our live performances, because we never used to make music videos, or you know, the gigging was what we did for like 5-6 years. Yeah. So all the energy and sort of, you know, the style that you see in those music videos, us trying to replicate what we're like on stage, which is pretty chaotic and, you know, loud and boisterous, and you know, so.
You're taking that energy out on sort of that 7 dates across the end of March into April, I believe.
Yes. We are, yeah. We're bringing a flavour of the North across the country. Yeah, we'll be doing some of our first truly Southern shows, playing in like Bristol and Winchester. I won't run off all the dates. You can find that on our website, deadwaxofficial.com. Sort of get in there.
Boom.
It's gotta be done.
Well, the first date on the tour was
Bristol.
Yeah. 31st of March.
I'm genuinely gutted I can't make it. I'm elsewhere that night. But looking through, I might see if I can twist Wes's arm and see if we can get down to London to catch you in April.
Nice. That'll be a great show. The lineup for that is stacked, actually. That'll be an incredible night. Really good.
I think the danger will be the two of us will be the oldest guys in the room.
I don't know about that. Jake's pretty old.
Yeah. I mean, it just touching on that, you know, the age thing. Obviously, you're young enough, you know, a generation or two difference, but you really appeal to us. Does the attraction, you know, the older generations getting your music worry you or please you?
Well, I think we're always up for anybody coming to you know, see us. We always appreciate people taking interest. But I feel like a lot of people our age they don't immediately go, oh yeah, this is something new. I'm ready for it. Like it takes a couple of, you know, gigs and for you know, people our age to sort of settle into it. But I feel like people of an older generation just immediately latch onto it, you know, which is nice.
We're definitely grateful for it.
It's definitely influence, because there's still influence from like Zeppelin in there, and like we're really inspired by Rage and you know, bands that are from a generation beforehand. We've had a few times where older people have come up and been like, "Oh yeah, absolutely loved it. What's that rap thing that you're doing?"
Yeah, the rap thing throws people off guard.
Yeah, I mean, crikey, it takes me back to when I was a teenager and Run DMC collabed with Aerosmith, and it was two worlds colliding. And I was just like, what is this? And it's a similar sort of thing, you know, that crossover that you're generating now. You're taking stuff that I remember from like the late 90s, like Censor, Rage Against the Machine. and chucking in that Eminem sort of vibe as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because the reason why you got into it is doing MCing and events and raves and things like that. So.
Yeah, it's built from dance music really. Because I host a sound system and do sort of drum and bass or dubstep sets, and that kind of energy, I think, is what really kind of made me want to continue and push that onto doing it with the band, and because I think energy and excitement is what I think we all really want to get out of our songs. Like when we play live, it's like it is pure energy, and that's kind of, I think, what we always aim for when we're writing and we're developing ideas. It's like, right, even if it might not be, pedal to the floor all the time, which it mostly is, still trying to figure out how it can be the most sort of energetic and sort of captivating sound.
There's definitely a progression in the sound from the first single, Heavy Temptation, through to the end of last year and Disconnect. There's definitely an evolution. Can you describe that?
I think it leans onto what we were saying a bit earlier with just our differences in what we listen to, just when when we're driving or at home. We all have such unique, different music tastes, and Heavy Temptation was the start of that. We've just been adding new artists, new inspirations onto that to take us to Disconnect, and I like to think it's definitely a positive direction shift. It's not a million miles away, but it's getting. Yeah, just to say with the rap as well, it's carving more of an identity into what we're doing.
Heavy Temptation was the first song we wrote in that kind of new style. That before then it was completely different, and then since then it's basically just been developing that as a style and a sound. And I think it's definitely got more to a point of less. Don't want to say it was cheesy. But I mean, I hadn't been rapping for probably not even a year when we did Heavy Temptation, and we'd never really done anything other than like Zepp and that kind of sound. It was, and now it's definitely got a lot more like dance music influence. There's a lot more focus on the bass sound and like synths going on in there, rather than it just being 4 people with guitars.
Yeah, and we always want the production, for every time we do something new, we want the production to be bigger and better. So, that's hopefully that's noticeable.
Yeah. I mean, I can't wait to see the reaction of people when they hear the new track, Northern Behaviour, end of the month. Just give it another plug, why not? And I think people will suddenly, if people like ourselves are catching on to this now, it's going to explode across quite a few different, perhaps to yourselves, unexpected sort of genres, groups of people, fans. I sincerely hope you're going to get more of a following, a sort of expansion of it, yeah?
It's the game plan.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've just finished doing a couple of shows at Risking the Ridicule. Don't know if you're aware of them.
No.
Ska, punk.
It's a punk grime.
Grime, ska.
Okay, that's interesting, yeah.
Scarcore. Scarcore, Random Hand.
They have a very loyal fan base.
Yeah, crazy following, like just so diehard. But we met a load of their fans, and they've subsequently come and seen us at some shows, and they definitely have an older than our usual demographic kind of fan base. And it's really exciting to see how well it resonates with kind of a pretty wide range of people, to be honest.
It's definitely something that's coming out of Bristol. I mean, I've got mates in a band called Mother Vulture. I don't know if you've heard of those guys. They're like a feral blues punk sort of thing, and they just got this incredible energy like you guys have, and it just spills over off the stage into the crowd. Is that the sort of vibe you get at your gigs?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. I think it's Mosh Pit City probably every single time, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's been some carnage.
I'd be very disappointed if there wasn't at least one person on the floor at some point.
Yeah.
We'd like carnage. We do carnage, all right.
Everyone politely stops and lets them get back up again.
Yeah, that's it. Bring your fallen comrade back to his feet.
Chaos ensues, yeah.
I mean, it's just genuinely opened my eyes, you guys have, and that's the beauty of music. I think that there, at the end of the day, there are no boundaries.
No, absolutely not. I mean, yeah, like it's such a wide range of sound that we now listen to and take influence from. We're writing all the time, and every song is different, really, and it's trying to not stray. You know, we've always got that worry you don't want to stray too far away, but we're at a point at the moment where I don't think we need to really worry about it. We can kind of get we're doing what we want to do. We're making music for us, really. We're making songs that make us go, oh yeah,
yeah.
And
that's the ultimate, isn't it? So this is your fourth or fifth single.
This will be.
Oh well, it depends if you count the graveyard of Deadwax songs that we try and cover up. I suppose this is the official third now. Third single.
Because you've got three or four tracks out on Spotify at the moment. I could discover. So is that going to be a strategy of yours going into 23? Release more singles before building up to an EP or an album?
I think that's kind of how the industry is shaping. It really does favor single releases. I think we're kind of at a point where we can't really keep up with even our own ideas and what we want to put out there, whether it's just let's keep throwing some music out there, let's see what really, really works, or do we sort of bundle together a more cohesive mix of tunes? But I think probably the plan is just to keep some singles rolling out. And,
But I mean, I want nothing more than to release an album. You know, it's just a case of when.
There's not. I don't think there's the demand for it yet, but I think it will be there with how well Disconnect's been received and how we think Northern Behaviour is going to be received, and obviously your kind words from yourself suggest that it should continue with the rising interest. So then, you know, maybe 2 singles, an EP. We'll see what how it pans out.
See how the 7 dates through April go. You're breaking out of your region, which is the first bold move for any band that's looking to get to a national audience.
It's been really, that process has been really moved along quite swiftly with just some great independent venues who are, willing to take a chance on independent acts. It's not easy out there. It's not easy at any level really nowadays. But it's great.
You're right. We owe it all to like venues that are really accommodating for new acts. I mean, shout out to the Parish at in Huddersfield and the Fulford Arms in York. I mean, there's so many I could name, but they're amazing.
And it's tapping into that circuit outside of the northwest, the northeast. I guess bringing the north to the south. I guess
it's got to be done.
That's what we want to do.
It's got to be done. Yeah.
Rude not to. I mean, I just genuinely, sincerely applaud you guys and taking the direction you're taking. You're not just content with keeping the wheel the same shape. You're reshaping it and chucking it off at a completely different angle.
No, I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
No, guys, thank you ever so much for your time. We'll wrap it up now. Just say best wishes for the single release, the tour. Fingers crossed we can catch you on this set of dates. If not, it will be the next set.
No,
appreciate it. Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. Right, I'll see.